Let's roll. You guys ready? Okay, welcome to it. It is the premier heating and air show with your guy, Dmac. And we have Tom Weinrich from American Standard. I want to get it right. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Boom. And we got Reed Borton from Premier Heating and Air. Reed, how you doing, my man? Let's get it started. How you doing?
Doing good. We're really busy, so it's a good thing. We're trying to keep up with everything.
What are you busiest with here, Reed? What's keeping you the busiest?
I mean, we kind of talked about it on the last show, but a lot of people, I mean, with the hot weather when it comes in, everybody kicks on their ACs, and that's when a lot of people figure out, that they have problems, and then everybody calls us. So we're popular, but that's good.
And Tom, how are you doing, my friend, with the hotter temperatures? Good for you? Good for business?
Oh, I got to tell you, we are blowing up around here. We've we've got contractors lined up out the door every morning when we get here, and I'm actually getting all of those friends and favors calling, buddies that I haven't talked to for 20 years. Hey, Tom, old buddy, can you get me an HVAC contractor out to my house? In fact, Reed and his team just did a full system for a buddy of mine here, what, a couple weeks ago, Reed?
Really?
And I went to lunch with that guy, and he could not be more pleased with the quality workmanship and the professionalism of Premier Heating and Air.
Well, talk to me. Talk to me about the project. Who wants to give a swing at that? Give me some details about it.
So he's a guy that sells me my big delivery trucks, and I've been talking to him about his HVAC system for probably about 6 or 8 years, and he just says, "Oh, I'll get it. I'll get through one more summer. I'll get through one more summer." And then all of a sudden he called me up and he said, "We flipped the switch on Saturday and nothing happened."
No way. No way he said that.
He's, I said, "All
That
right."
is a riot. That is so funny.
I said, "Remember I gave you Premier Heating and Air's name and number? Call them."
Oh my God. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that for a second, Reed. How the magic switch. I'll call that the magic switch story, boys. Like huh. Nothing. So how many like magic switch stories do you get, Reed? A lot, I bet.
A lot, yeah. And that's, I mean, the story that Tom told, I mean, we hear it a lot, and we're definitely here to help people. They need us. But we definitely, we encourage people to be proactive for that reason, because it's everybody's kind of doing it at the same time. And
Yeah.
like Tom said, you realize how many people when it gets hot. Everybody comes around.
Oh,
So
that's so
it's all right.
great. All right.
Yeah.
So what's has your phone been ringing off the hook? All right. Hold on. How many personal friends and favors can you actually do? I mean, like, what are we talking about here, Reed?
I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people apparently, so they all have AC,
And
but
is it the same type of thing? Is it oh gosh, I'm just trying to think what it is, They're surprised by it. They're caught it's, a shocker to them. It's the magic light switch. I'm gonna guess, right?
yeah, that's kind of how it works, I mean, one thing, like, and here's something, just for everybody kind of listening, we always say, and this is what I tell people I know too, like, check the basic stuff first. You hope it's something quick and easy. So, replace that filter,
Okay.
at least check that. Another thing you can do is there's actually a power switch to the whole system, or the breaker. Reset the power. It's kind of like a computer. Sometimes you just got to reset it, and it could be okay, but check in the basic stuff first. I mean, that's the best place to start. I think other things, that are kind of signs that you may, need a new system, or there may be a problem. The system's running kind of like nonstop, kicking off and on. You know, you hear about that. Obviously, if it's not cooling, there could,
Right.
there could be a problem. Usually if there's a lot of kind of, safety measures, just like your car. I mean, they're very advanced now that they can be a little bit finicky, but it's really trying to prevent like a lot of these bigger problems from happening. But those are usually signs that, there could be something going on. If your energy bills are really kind of spiking through the roof, there's some problems there. So you want to get that, taken care of, get a tune up, or get a technician out there to really kind of evaluate things, because a lot of these things are not just going to go away on their
Right.
own. Other things that, if it's making some loud noises, I heard one the other day, it's making a loud screeching noise and their neighbors are complaining about it.
What would
So
that be?
things like,
Well, let's talk about some noises. What type of give me some noises and what they'd be most associated with, likely.
well, I guess screeching noise is usually not a good sign. There could be could be a problem with the motor, or something like that. But I mean, those are, I'm sure, Tom, you ran into that, or we probably all seen it when a unit AC is a little bit noisier, like they're usually pretty quiet. So if your neighbors are complaining about it, that's a good sign to kind of give us a call. Looking at other things too. Some people, when you go down and look at even the indoor unit, you might see some signs of, it's leaking water all over. That's a sign that there's a problem. And, anytime you're kind of getting over like that threshold of, 10 years or more, it could just be an age thing. It's getting older, and, it could have all kinds of problems.
Here's what I want. I want Tom to do an impression of the screeching noise. Tom, I want to put you on the spot. Through your years of experience, I want to hear from you exactly in your interpretation of the screeching noise.
That's a terrible one, wasn't it, Dmac?
So it's not it's just
But it's kind of like that
Yep.
Amco transmission commercial
Right,
they had a few
right.
years ago, where all these people had to make all
Right.
these noises their cars were making. Well, and it's the same thing in our world.
Yeah, I bet.
It's these are mechanical items. The unit outside is mechanical. It has a compressor inside it, just like you would in having your refrigerator, and it's got a pump refrigerant. And then there's a fan that turns towards the top of the unit. And when you have things that are loose and it's metal on metal, that's the screeching that Reed was talking about. Or there's some thumping and some bumping that could be happening with your furnace in the basement. And people don't know where that noise is coming from, but it's similar to what my pastor said last Sunday when we were talking about it in church. He said, I get noises out of my car and I don't know quite what they are because I'm not a mechanic, but a light comes on. And so I just ignore the light. Well, our HVAC systems don't have a light to ignore, but when you are uncomfortable and your family is uncomfortable, it's time to deal with it.
I can't wait to hear more about what that sermon was about, Tom. I mean, when a pastor is saying you see the light, that could mean a lot of different things.
Big piece of tape to go over it.
It's time to get a new AC when you see the light.
Usually when a pastor says you see the light, you don't ignore it. You're kind of like, hey, good. That's a good thing. The pastor's telling me. No, I'm teasing, obviously. But yeah, you ignore the light. The sounds are something else, man. I don't know how else to describe. Boy, I'm one of those dopes, though. I'm one of those guys. I would just show up to guys. It's going. It's one of them, guys. Come on, help me out with that. And I think too. First of all, the best thing to do is just contact Premier. Okay, let's just start there. PremierAirColorado.com. That's PremierAirColorado.com. 720-547-8009. it's okay if you've waited this long. It's not perfect. You should be a little smarter. But I was just looking at the temperatures. Here we are, guys. For Colorado, thank God we're not in Phoenix, right? But for Colorado, we are talking upper 80s to mid 90s for like 10 days in a row. Okay. I think there's one day in there there's going to be a little bit of a break. But we're here. Summertime is here, right, Tom?
Yep.
This is it.
Yeah, summer's here,
It's
and
here.
it's not going to get cool until summer's over, and that's we're looking at Labor Day before it gets cool.
Oh, and maybe
So
it keeps going. You know, there are definitely days in October that it's just like, you got to be kidding me, right?
Yep.
Just like there are days in April where it's snowing. You got to be kidding me. I mean, this is what we're facing. So here we are in June. How much do you want to suffer? I guess that's a question you got to ask yourself.
Well,
Yeah,
I
it's
think
just
that's the
getting
key.
started.
Yeah, go ahead, Reed. Go ahead, Reed.
No, I'm just saying, summer's just getting started, you know.
Right. All right. So it's not too late. How are appointments going, Reed? How are you guys? It's busier. I get it. But how are just like coming out to the house? Walk us through that process. How's it going?
Yeah, I mean, after that initial kind of heat wave, it's always a little crazy for a few days. And then, I don't know if it's the fact that we kind of get used to it or, that kind of thing, but usually it kind of comes in waves for us. But with that being said, I mean, we're always able to, we really prioritize, especially people that don't have any cooling. We understand that that's
Okay.
not a good situation, so we're usually able to get out there same day or the following day with our technicians. So that's a big thing for us. We don't ever like to get too far booked out, and we make sure that we still have capacity to kind of, get out to those customers that don't have any cooling at all.
Yeah, that's a little bit more serious. I'm glad you addressed that though. These are true emergency situations, correct? So if
Hmm.
I mean, these are people I'm going to say that are probably not very mobile or all right, so talk to us about that. How often do you I'm just thinking of sort of the creature comforts. But that is an interesting question about situations where, hey man, this actually could be life-threatening sort of situations. How often do you run into stuff like
Yeah.
that?
I mean, like you said, it's not as bad as it is in Phoenix.
Right.
That's definitely a real, life and death type of thing. But for us, I mean, it is, like when you're hot inside of your house, I mean, it can be extremely uncomfortable, especially, if you're elderly or if
Right.
you have existing health issues. We definitely um, get out to those people as fast as possible. So, but it is one of those things where we just have to, stay kind of, efficient with everything and really prioritize kind of based off of that. I mean, it's a emergency to, everybody, but we definitely factor in those things.
Premier is an independent American standard heating and AC dealer. So the equipment and everything they use, Tom, you can speak on it, is top rate, correct? So when
Oh yeah.
Premier is out there, you're getting the best of the best, correct?
Oh, for sure. And Premier and Denver Win Air or American Standard have been doing business so long together. Uh, it's almost like we read one another's minds.
Okay.
They buy the top of the line in our line of equipment, and the, the the business that they do with their customers is absolutely over the top. American Standard is listed number one in Consumer Reports over about the last 17, 18 years. And that's not an easy feat to overcome. I mean,
Mm,
we're number one for a reason.
nice.
And one of the
Nice.
reasons that we're number one is it really speaks to our dealers, like Premier Heating and Air. They they don't ever let a stone be left unturned when the time comes for taking care of their customers. They're going to be out there early in the morning. They're going to be out there late at night until everything's taken care of, until their customers are truly, truly happy, because their service and their legacy is what it's all about.
That is so good to hear, guys. That is so awesome. And there's certain things that are just kind of fun, comfort, and that whole stuff. But when you can actually, when you know that you're doing really well by people, when you know that you're helping out the community, and you can make things a priority like that, I think that's a credit to everybody here for sure. I know it makes me feel better in my radio host duties. I don't think I'm saving anybody's life or anything, but you like to think that you have an impact. And when you can see things read over the years where you've just, I think that's probably got to be one of the better part of the jobs, when people are very grateful about things that you've done with them. What is that like, and how often does it happen where it's just like, your technicians or you're doing good things for the community, you're helping people's lives be better?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about, right? And we get a lot of, that's a very good feeling when we're able to take care of somebody. And we get a lot of these testimonials all the time, and people just kind of explaining, hey, our system went down. It's usually at a really bad time, and it definitely, they're very appreciative and grateful, that we're able to get out there and kind of get them taken care of, and that's, for us, I mean, that's what it's all about. Tom brought up, one of the reasons that we work with American Standard is it definitely doesn't hurt. I saw that they were the #1 brand, so that's a big, reason why we kind of, partnered, because it's a little bit easier. It definitely helps to have the top rated brand. But I think another thing too, when the biggest part of, and Tom can kind of talk about this too, it's the dealer, it's the company that is installing the equipment. Like, that's the most important aspect of this whole equation. And it's that service that you kind of provide after the fact. And when you're looking at choosing a company to go with, you don't want to make kind of that rash decision, even though it's hot and those kind of things, because this is really a long-term investment. And if you go with the right company, you're never going to regret that. And looking for different things like, are they licensed? Are they insured? What type of warranty do they provide? All the different things. We offer guarantees, to really kind of back up all of our warranties. We do a 10-year parts and labor warranty. So that's
Wow.
a comprehensive bumper to bumper warranty. And we also back that up with a lot of those guarantees, so if your system goes down, we have a 24-hour emergency service guarantee. So we're getting out there right away, getting that, taken care of. 100%, satisfaction guarantee. So at the end of the day, no matter what happens, like, our whole, motto is to make the customer happy, regardless of what the situation is.
Maybe Tom, you can speak on that. Okay, I'm Joe homeowner. Give me 3 questions, and Reed, I'll go back to you too. But Tom, give me 3 questions you should ask of a contractor doing your work.
The 3 questions I would ask first and foremost are, do you have a good standing with the Better Business Bureau?
Okay. All right.
Okay. Again, as Reed spoke to, are you licensed and insured, and can you prove it to me?
Okay.
Okay. And are
What
you
if they say sure, but I can't prove it to you. I don't have that on me, that sort of thing. I don't know.
Ask for an email.
Okay.
I mean, all of that documentation is easily accessible by the office staff.
So anybody with a good reputation should easily be able to prove that.
Yep.
Easily. Okay. All right. Question number 3.
And then I would also, this wouldn't be a question, but I'd also check out their Google reviews.
Okay.
Check out the reviews and what has gone on with the relationships with them and their previous customers.
everybody probably has a stray bad review here and there, right?
Everybody does.
Everybody does. Okay. What would be a disturbing trend on that? What are things in Google reviews that are red flags?
Well, I mean, the occasional one is those are always the outliers.
Yeah.
But when you see somebody that is consistently, 4.5, 4.6, 4.7, 4.8, and they're running consistent, 5-star reviews and all the way through, they're a quality contractor. And you can actually see the reputation as it carries through not only the summertime, but also through the wintertime as well.
One thing that concerns me, and Reed, maybe you can address this, is I don't get a bait and switch. Okay. Somebody comes to my door and it's supposed to be this. This actually, it had nothing to do with heating and air. It had nothing to do with it. It was another house thing that I'm dealing with because I just moved into a new home. But it was, oh gosh, I don't want to be too specific, but it was, one thing, and then they came out and said, "Oh, actually, it's not this thing. It's actually something else." And I was like, "Oh, that's interesting," because we could have been over that. We could have discussed that earlier, and it wasn't like the biggest deal in the world, but it was like $60, and I just walked away from it like I paid it because we're here, we got to get the work done. All right, it's not gonna break me, but I you know what? I'll never go back to that person again. I'll tell you that. We got the work done. The work's okay, but I'll look for somebody else, Reed. I really will. That's an important thing to me.
Yeah. It kind of takes away from your overall experience, right?
It does to me. And I know with you guys, you come out and do a free evaluation. You'll come out and look at it, right? You'll get a no cost estimate on what the work's going to be. How important is that for you guys to be as honest as possible with the clients, and how does that go in general from the estimate to the work?
Yeah, I mean, it's extremely important. I always say, like, do you like to fly Southwest or Frontier? Do you like to
Wow.
do you like to
Airlines
pay
taking strays from Reed?
Yeah, sorry about that, but I like to pay a certain price, and then I don't get all these kind of add-ons and nickel and dime kind of, on the back end. So, I think a lot of people really prefer that type of experience. And, ultimately, I mean, it's worth it to pay a little bit more money, right? To just know that things are going to be done correctly. We do something, it's called a no change order guarantee.
Okay.
When we go in, we're going to make sure everything is on there. Once we give you a price, the price does not change. So if we miss something, that's on us. We're going to take care of it.
Interesting.
Because we don't want it to take away from that experience.
What do you think about that, Tom?
Well, that just speaks to the integrity of Premier. And in today's society, it just seems like there's less and less contractor integrity. And that's something you're never going to have to worry about with Reed and his team at Premier. Integrity is number one for them. Not to mention what they do for their customers after the sale. Most every one of their clients, and I don't know the exact percentage, Reed can speak to it, are typically their club members.
Okay.
And their club members are the ones that, they're getting the 5-star service even after the fact, because they've decided to go with the biannual service. And that again, why would you put a premium system in and then not maintain it? So Reed and his team offer their program to be able to keep constant maintenance as well. And I would definitely recommend it. Now, this is coming from we, the manufacturer. You definitely want to make sure that you keep your system maintained so you don't hear those ugly sounds in the future.
Yeah. What about that, Reed?
Yeah. Do you guys want to reenact that sound again, or should we
Come on,
move on
you want me to do it, or do you want Tom to?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about, right? I mean, for us, it's a long-term relationship. We want to be there, for them, for the life of that system. And, you know, if they move to a different house or whatever it is, I mean, we're in it for the long run. We're not just there to, you know, make some money and kind of run with it. You know, it's a long-term relationship for us. So ideally we're out there twice a year and
Well,
maintaining
not
it.
only that.
And
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Tom. Go ahead, Tom.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just going to mention, you know, the average consumer buys one HVAC system in their lifetime.
Is that right? Wow. In their
But that's not
lifetime.
true with Reed's clientele.
Hmm.
Because I don't know how many times Reed and I have had the conversation about it, about repeat customers, because those customers have bought a system from them in this house, and the next thing you know, they decide to move on, and maybe they upgrade their house and go to a larger home, or they downsize a little bit. They end up calling Premier right back out again because they want the same stellar performance and
Right.
service that they had in their previous location.
Well, the best way is to contact Premier at premieraircolorado.com. That's premieraircolorado.com. The phone number is 720-547-8009. Again, that's 720-540-8009. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is fantastic and a great partner. And Premier is an independent American Standard Heating and AC dealer. So this relationship has worked together for many, many, many years. And as we get into these warmer temperatures, while, you know, let's face it, you probably did wait a little bit too long, but it's okay. It's all right. We can be there for you, no doubt about it. And now, sometimes necessity is the mother of invention, or, nothing gets done till the last minute, and you'll just know. You'll be sitting in your home. It'll be suffocating. You'll be like, that is the funniest thing to me, Tom, the way that you started. Like, what happened? I turned the switch. I turned the switch and it didn't work. I think that story happens way more often than people think. I think it probably happens all the time, Tom. All the time. What are you looking to rat your buddy out? Is that what you're doing right now?
Yeah. I'm gonna rat out my uncle. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Last night at 7:45 p.m.
Yeah.
Hey Tom, you up for a call about air conditioning issues I have? I responded to him and said, sure. We ended up talking about an hour later. He lives in Seattle.
That is too funny. That is too funny.
I asked Reed what his trip charge was to Seattle. He didn't answer me.
Reed, you do travel in the Denver metro, but Seattle's probably a little outside. When the Premier Empire, Tom, grows, when it expands to the Pacific Northwest. But I can sort of wrap it up here with Reed. You do service the Denver area, though, Reed. All right.
Yes.
Fun question. What is the furthest you guys would go? Where is that's a little too far? Where would it be?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on if we know them or not. Yeah, I mean, we stay primarily, we go up to, maybe even as far as like Thornton. We've gone up to Erie. A lot of it, we're down here in the tech center.
Mm-hmm.
We're in Greenwood Village. We primarily, this is a big part of our service area because our office is here. I live down south, kind of near Castle Rock. So I'm doing, events and different things like that. But we go all over. I mean, up north down to Castle Rock, out west to, Golden, out to Aurora and kind of that area. So, we're kind of all over.
All right, boys. Well, it's fun chopping up with you. And I did see Reed, I think on Facebook you were in a field somewhere this last weekend. So it was like see Reed in a field. It was
the food truck frenzy.
Food truck frenzy. Where was that at?
So that was in Castle Pines. So we're a member of the Castle Pines Chamber of Commerce. So that was an event that we did, and yeah, it was a blast.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. All right, guys, we got to wrap it up. Tom, any parting words or sound effects that you would like to make?
I'm going to pass on the sound effects, but make sure you go ahead and toss out Premier Air Colorado again and their phone number.
No doubt. PremierAirColorado.com. That's PremierAirColorado.com. 720-547-8009. We'll be back next Saturday morning for another Premier Heating and Air Show. Boys, have a great and cool weekend.